Hello, today we are going to continue Unit 5, Higher Education, with the grammar point about the conditional sentences, or we can call it the if clause. First, let's talk about its structure. A conditional sentence is composed of two main parts. They are the if clause and the main clause. For example, if it rains, we'll put on our raincoats. Here in this sentence, if it rains is the if clause and the rest of the sentence is the main clause. Next, we're gonna talk about the types of the conditional sentences. Here we have the zero conditional, which is used to talk about things that are generally true or scientific facts. This type can be formed by using present simple tense in both the if clause and the main clause. For example, if the weather is good, we go to the beach. Or if it rains, the glass gets wet. Or if you freeze water, it turns into ice. Next, we're gonna talk about the first conditional, which is used to talk about real situations and the outcome is really droppable. We can form the first conditional by using the present simple tense in the if clause and the future symbol in the main clause. For example, if you don't study harder, you will fail the exam. Or, if we don't hurry, we will miss the train. Or, if she has enough time, she will exercise. Another type of conditional sentence is the second conditional, which we mainly use to talk about an unreal present situation and its probable result now or in the future. This type is formed by using past simple tense in the if clause, and in the main clause, we use the structure subject plus would plus verb infinitive. For example, if I knew the answers, I would tell you. Or, if they have a party, they wouldn't invite me. Or, if the weather were good, the tennis match would start. Here from the third example, we see that the verb be takes the form were instead of was. We can use was in the second conditional in everyday speech, but were should be used in academic writing. Next, we have the fourth type of conditional sentences. It's the third conditional, which is used to talk about an unreal or imaginary situation and its probable result in the past. We form the third conditional by using the past perfect tense in the if clause and the structure subject plus would have plus past participle in the main clause. For example, if I hadn't eaten too much, I wouldn't have felt sick. Or, if she had studied harder, she would have passed the exam. Or, if he had driven more carefully, the accident wouldn't have happened. In addition to four main types of conditional sentences, we also have two mixed conditional types. The first one is used to talk about an imaginary or unreal situation in the past and its probable outcome in the present. This type can be formed by using the past perfect tense in the if clause, and in the main clause, we use the structure of subject plus would plus verb infinitive. For example, If I had taken some aspirin, I wouldn't have a headache now. Or, if she had had lunch, she would not feel hungry now. Or, if he had saved his money, he would go on holiday. The second mistype is used to talk about an imaginary or unreal situation in the present and its probable outcome in the past. This type can be formed by applying past simple tense to the if clause and the structure subject plus would have plus past participle to the main clause. For example, if I were a good cook, I would have invited them to lunch. Actually, I'm not a good cook. If she had more money, she would have bought a house. Actually, she doesn't have any money. If my friend were more beautiful, she would have attended the beauty contest. Now, let's move to some notes about conditional sentence. The first one is some alternative to if. We can use unless to replace if something not blah 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 blah. For example, I'll go ahead and get the ticket unless you call me this afternoon. This means that I'll go ahead and get the ticket if you do not call me this afternoon. Next, we can use as long as or provided to replace the word if in the if clause. For example, I'll do what you say as long as or provided the police are not informed. Next, we're gonna pay attention to some special verb used in the if clause. We use word to plus verb to make an event seem more hypothetical. For example, if I were to ask you to marry me, what would you say? Or happen to plus verb to emphasize chance possibilities. For example, if you happen to see Helen, could you ask her to call me? Or we can use will or would plus verb for emphasis and politeness. For example, if you would wait here, I'll see if Mrs. Green is free. This answer brings me to the end of my lessons. Thank you. Bye bye.